Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Chad's Abby investigation, Theresa and Brady busted and Harris stops Ava's fatal mistake. Days of Our Lives, DOOL, spoilers for the coming 2 weeks, June 3rd to June 14th, reveal that Rafe Hernandez's, Galen Gehring, attempt to arrest Melinda Trask, Tina Huang, over the baby switch won't go according to plan. Melinda will bring up Gabby Hernandez de Maras, last played by Camila Banus, captivity stint during the week of June 3rd to 7th and try to paint herself as Gabby's last stopgap at freedom, so Rafe seems poised to back down. Next, Sloan Peterson Brady, Jessica Surfety, will nearly gossip to Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, and Nicole DeMera, Ariane Zucker, about Jude Brady's, Oliver McClarty, true maternity, but EJ's return will silence her and give her another occasion to make a speedy exit. In Montana, day spoilers say Ava Vitale, Tamara Braun, and Lucas Horton, Brian DeTillo, will press Rebecca Goldman, Christy St. John, to surrender word on Clyde Weston's, James Redd, exact position. It looks like Goldman may indeed unmask some news since day spoilers say Ava will nearly follow through with her plan to end Clyde's life. Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, will stop Ava, but he'll have a new problem on his hands when fortified Chad DeMera, Billy Flynn, shows up and threatens Clyde next. Before Chad can pull the detector, Clyde will drop a major disclosure on him and contend Abigail DeMera, last played by Marcy Miller, is alive. Other day spoilers say Kristen DeMera, Stacey Hayduke, will leave Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, since she's just not interested in pursuing further than this little fling. Alex was delightful in bed for a while, but Kristen will be over this arrangement and will push him to see that Teresa Donovan, Emily O'Brien, is the one he really wants. That may be true, but Alex will face a stunner when he finds Teresa and Brady Black, Eric Martsolf, in the middle of some erupting bedroom passion. Of course, Alex agreed this was an open relationship, so he can't really condemn Teresa for taking advantage of the benefits like he did. Perhaps Teresa and Alex will eventually have a talk that leads to them truly committing to each other. Over with Sarah Horton, Lindsay Godfrey, she'll try to get Xander Cook, Paul Telfer, on board with an idea related to their marriage. Xander won't be an addict of it, so this may involve Sarah's attempt to invite his mama. Still, Sarah will get in touch with someone from Xander's history, so she may suppose she knows best and reach out to Xander's mama about their espousal anyway. In the meantime, a different marriage form will get underway. Once Maggie Kyriakis, Suzanne Rogers, John Black, Drake Hodgson, and Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, get the embezzlement evidence they need, it'll be time to spring Constantine Meliuni's, John Capello's, trap. Constantine will anticipate to say I do and marry into some serious Kyriakis plutocrat, but he won't know the real prenup is still complete, and he won't see his arrest coming assuming either. Maggie will probably arrange for the Bobbies to tote Constantine off in the middle of the marriage, so that LL leave him fuming during the week of June 10th to 14th. Although Teresa will worry about Constantine exposing her part in their scheme together, he may keep his mouth shut, substantially to avoid making effects any worse for himself. There'll be some new Robert Bobby Stein aka Everett Lynch, Blake Barris, developments as well now that Bobby has agreed to treatment. Bobby claimed he'd no way let Everett out again, but Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, will hope that's not true. Since Bobby is a enough slippery character, we wouldn't be surprised if he disappears from the sanitarium and causes further trouble. Meanwhile, Gabby's freedom will inch closer, so Melinda may make some bold moves and try to keep Rafe satisfied so he won't rat her out for the bogus relinquishment. Eventually, Chad will most probably probe Clyde's claims about Abigail's survival. Annalyn McCord is set to debut soon, but her character name will apparently be Marin. This may be a situation where Marin insists she's not Abigail despite looking just like her, at least from the perspective of Chad and other Salemites who can't tell the difference between Marcy Miller and a recast. Our DOOL prognostications point to this look-alike story coming with plenitude of twists and turns, so there could fluently be some explanation like altered recollections if Marin indeed turns out to be Abigail. Days of Our Lives spoilers say the coming 2 weeks will bring some surprises. Abigail's survival shocks Chad, Constantine the Snake's marriage trap. Days of Our Lives, DOOL. Spoilers. Exercise videotape for the week of June 3rd to 7th reveals that Theresa Donovan, Emily O'Brien, will take full advantage of her open relationship with Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, now that she's clarified where they stand. After Theresa purrs and Brady blacks, Eric Martsolf, observance about wanting him, she plant a kiss before they head to the bedroom together. Meanwhile, Kristen DiMera, Stacey Hayduke, will admit she's just not that into Alex, so she offer a bit of a wake-up call. Alex may realize he needs to completely commit to Theresa, but he's in for a shock when he catches her in a rather passionate-looking moment with Brady. Other days spoilers say Melinda Trask, Tina Huang, will throw Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gehring, a curveball when she hints that chastising her could come at Gabby Hernandez DiMeras, last played by Camila Banus, expenditure. Melinda may covenant to renew Lee Shin's, Remington Hoffman, case and make sure Gabby goes free, but only if Rafe lets her off the hook for the baby switch first. Days spoilers say Rafe will have to make some updates to his perspective, so stick with us for further prognostications on Gabby's freedom plot. Next, DOOL suckers will see Constantine Meliunis, John Capellos, and Maggie Kyriakis, Suzanne Rogers, marriage on set. Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, will point out that the trap is set, and Maggie will contend that they've that snake right where they want him. Since Maggie is setting Constantine up for embezzlement, she may turn him in and time it so his arrest will be at the espousal. Theresa will worry about what Constantine might reveal once his downfall happens, so she'll have some nail-smelling scenes as all the drama erupts. At the DiMera manse, Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, will slam Sloane Peterson Brady, Jessica Surfety, for letting him fall in love with a child who didn't indeed belong to him, but she'll contend that's not the whole story. Will Sloane blurt out the verity about Jude Brady's, Oliver McClarty, maternity, or maybe back out of that concession when EJ DiMera, Dan Feuereagle, shows up? Days daily exercise videotape also shows Chad DiMera, Billy Flynn, hanging to pull the detector on Clyde Weston, James Redd, for killing Abigail DiMera, Marcy Miller, but Clyde will contend he didn't kill her after all. That news will throw Chad for a circle and leave him with plenitude of questions. Chad will suspect Clyde's just trying to save his own skin, but Clyde will maintain that Abigail is alive and may offer some form of an explanation. Days of Our Lives spoilers allude this will lead to a new riddle girding Abigail and whether the lookalike who shells is the real deal. Clyde reveals a huge secret to Chad after his capture, and Sloane has commodity to tell Eric the scab pens from last time's pen strike are gone, so get ready for some big changes. First over, Theresa's gone from Alex to back to wanting Brady. Meanwhile, Kristen is also done with Alex. Let's just take a conjecture, does she too want Brady again? Last week Rafe, thanks to Eric's help, figured out the recently appointed DA Melinda Trask played a vital part in handing over Nicole's son Jude to Melinda. Unfortunately, it appears Melinda is going to suspend Gabby's release from captivity for not killing Lee over Rafe's head, the case former DA DiMera refused to renew. Melinda offers a deal. It's Constantine and Maggie's marriage day, but she, John, and Steve have set a trap for him. Will they be suitable to hash the head off this snake? Sloane tried to make peace with Nicole before skipping city. Unfortunately for Sloane, Nicole gave her a piece of her fist. Eric arrived before Sloane could slide off, and was just as angry as she let him fall in love with a child that wasn't his. Coming up, it appears that Sloane may be offering up the whole verity eventually, and that Eric is the father of little Jude. Eventually, Harris has Clyde in guardianship, but Chad wants revenge for Abigail and hold him at gunpoint. That's when Clyde reveals Abigail is alive. So what, is she hanging out in the afterlife while her body is in one of Megan's chambers?